Oh my god, I really should stop filming YouTube videos with no pants on.
Oh, for God's sake, Niall!
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Unless you're new around here, then welcome. Glad to have you. My name is Jasmine. I make One Direction videos on this YouTube channel, but I have another main channel that's going to be linked in the description if you want to go see more of my content. Before I say anything else in this video, I do just want to take a minute and say that there's a lot of things that are going on in the world right now. I'm positive that you guys know that well enough on your own without me having to tell you. There's so many global issues that are demanding so much attention right now, and it's really wonderful that everyone is coming together to take a stand. So I definitely don't want to take away from that. I still want to upload content for you, but I do also still want to use my platform to spread awareness for these issues and to continue encouraging you guys to do the same. So please make sure that when you're finished with this video, you go to the description and click on some of the links that I'm going to leave down there for you so you can sign your petitions for today, spread information, and keep yourself educated, please. But with all that being said, today's video, of course, is going to be the 1D rundown for June. If you're not familiar with the One Direction rundown, basically it's a segment I do on my channel where I run down all the events that happened in a month in the One Direction fandom, just so everyone can stay updated, and it's also just a good thing to recap on later in the future. We have a lot to talk about when it comes to stuff that happened in June, so I'm going to waste not a second. Let's just get into the June rundown.
It's not about winners or losers, but we won.
We're going to start the rundown off on June 2nd. This is when Harry was seen at a Black Lives Matter protest in LA. And then Liam and Niall were both seen at the same Black Lives Matter protest in London. And this also happened again on June 3rd. They were seen at protests. This isn't something that I need to make a big deal out of course, but I just decided to put it in here because it is something that happened. So if you didn't know that, then yeah, all three of them were seen protesting on both of those days. On June 3rd, there was an unseen of Louis at a music festival in 2016 that surfaced. A common theme that you're going to see throughout the June rundown is like unseens, kind of like the last rundown. There was a lot of unseens coming out. Same thing for this month. So on June 5th, there's a new picture of Zayn and Gigi that came out by British Vogue, actually, which is really nice, except for the fact that you can't even see Zayn's face in it. That's kind of sad, but at least we know that it's him, and it's the thought that counts. On June 6th, this is when Louis was seen at a Black Lives Matter protest in London. And then later this same day, he posted about the protest on his Instagram. Also on June 6th, two photo shoot pictures of One Direction from back in 2011 surfaced. Like I said, a bunch of unseens came to light. There was also some unseens during this month that came out from like the X Factor. Kind of like, it makes me happy, but it also hurts me at the same time. I'm kind of hurt by that. I feel kind of attacked, especially Louis and Zayn. Like, you did that to hurt me, and it worked. Also on June 6th, this is something that's pretty interesting, and I feel like it's kind of irrelevant now, but it was a big thing at the time, so I'll throw it in the rundown. But June 6th is basically the day where the fandom discovered that there's a Beachwood Cafe near Doncaster. Like, it's about 40 minutes away from Doncaster, when previously everyone just thought there was only one in LA. There is one in the UK, and it's right next to Louis' hometown. Even weirder, the inside of it is decorated with stags, like on the pillowcases and all over the walls and stuff, which we know is like Louis' tattoo. So a lot of people were really freaking out about the knowledge that there's a Beachwood Cafe in the UK. It's spelled differently than the one in Falling. There's a Beachwood Cafe that has a double E, and then the other one is EA Beachwood. So it is a different spelling, but I don't really have much to say on that because I don't want to just sit here and like theorize. That's not the point of the rundown. I just wanted to let you know that that's what happened on the 6th. On June 10th, Harry finally announced the postponing of his tour, Love on Tour, and announced the new dates that are now set for late 2021. For months now, a lot of fans have been waiting for Harry to even announce his tour was postponed because for a long time it was just radio silent. On the 10th, he finally said, like, unfortunately I have to reschedule, and had all of the new dates planned out and ready to go. So if you have a ticket for Love on Tour, it's going to be valid for the shows that are taking place in 2021. You don't have to rebuy them or anything like that. Now we just gotta wait for Louis, because I'm still stressing about that. So on June 12th, Niall was a part of iHeartRadio's E-Talk, and he went on and performed Black and White. And during this E-Talk interview, he also congratulated Zayn and Gigi on their baby.
Daddy to be?
Oh, congratulations to them both, yeah.
Very happy, yeah. He'll do a good job. He's always good with kids and stuff. And Gigi's a lovely girl, so I think they'll be fine. They'll be great.
I talked about in the last rundown how Liam congratulated Gigi and Zayn, and then I kind of mentioned that he was the only member of One Direction who said anything. But then this month, on the 12th, Niall also joined the congratulations party and offered his congrats to Zayn and Gigi. You hear that? Do you hear that? It's Zyle Nation. Zyle Nation wins again. Period. Also on June 12th, this is so funny, and I can't believe this happened this month. I feel like this was months ago. It feels like forever ago, but it was this month on the 12th. There was outtakes of Louis' Telegraph magazine shoot that ended up coming out and surfacing. And a lot of fans were posting them like illegally because all those photos are copyrighted, but people were getting them off the internet and spreading them all over Twitter anyway. So as a result, hashtag Louis are going to jail party was trending #1 worldwide for a little bit of time this day. This was actually really funny. It had been a while since there was something like this to happen in the fandom where everyone could kind of come together to have a laugh. So I thought it was really funny, and a lot of other people did too, that hashtag Louis are going to jail party was trending. There was some really funny tweets going on this day. It was hilarious. Such a good time. I know you're going to sing Miss You, so is there even any point in trying to stop you at this point? Such a good time. I believe it this time. Tuesday night. You really disappoint me. Then the following day, June 13th, is the day that an article by The Sun came out confirming that Harry was in London, and it was accompanied by an actual picture of him, like, going for a jog in London, confirming that he was actually there and it wasn't just bullshit. This was a pretty exciting day. A lot of people were freaking out. Maybe exciting is not the word for it. Overwhelming might be a better word for it. Very overwhelming day. Having confirmation that all of One Direction was in London, at least OT4. There was some rumors going around for a little bit of time that Zayn was in London, but nothing was ever confirmed. But OT4 was like 100% in London. So the fact that all of them were there together was very overwhelming information, especially because we're creeping up on the anniversary. Like, it's just... Also on June 13th, there's a tweet from a producer who claims that he has been on Zoom working on Zayn's third album. This was kind of weird because this tweet was actually tweeted on May 31st. The producer tweeted like, oh, I'm on Zoom working on this new Zayn Malik album on May 31st. But the tweet didn't like go around the fandom and start being talked about until June 13th. June 13th is when people actually found it and started spreading it around and talking about it for some reason. I had no idea that this tweet was even a thing until June 13th when everyone randomly found it and started talking about it. Maybe there was some people that saw it before, but it didn't become like this huge thing until June 13th. Another thing about this though, a little bit after this tweet was like going around the fandom on June 13th, there was a song by Zayn called Hurt that was leaked all over Twitter, except this isn't the first time that Hurt got leaked. This song Hurt by Zayn Malik was leaked before in March, just a few months ago. Everybody was talking about it and like listening to it back when it got leaked the first time, and then it got removed, and now in June it got re-leaked again after being taken down months ago when it was first leaked. I don't know what's up with that or why it just so happened to leak the day that this tweet was going around about some producer working with Zayn on his new album, but very sketchy. Also on June 13th, speaking of songs, on June 13th, the lyrics to the One Direction song Jenny got released and were surfacing all over the internet. You guys may remember the song Jenny as the song that I talked about in the rundown months and months ago when Harry's little solo tidbit got leaked. And then even more of the song ended up getting leaked. That is pretty random. But there is a lot of random stuff that happened in this rundown, so we're just gonna move on. On June 17th, Moral of the Story by Ash featuring Niall came out, and it's beautiful. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did because a lot of people already knew Moral of the Story. It was a really popular TikTok song, but Niall really added something to it that I just cannot describe. If you haven't listened to Moral of the Story yet, you are severely slacking, and I suggest you go listen to it as soon as humanly possible. Also, this song is really impressive because they recorded it over FaceTime with each other because, you know, everyone's still kind of in quarantine, so you can't really go and collab on a song with someone, kind of like Liam and Alesso didn't actually meet up to do Midnight. Same thing with Moral of the Story. They recorded it completely just like over a call with each other. And I think that's amazing because it turned out so wonderfully. So also on June 17th, another One Direction online concert took place. I don't remember what month it was when this first happened, but a few rundowns ago I talked about the 1D concert online stay at home trending worldwide and everyone tuning in to listen. Another one took place on the 17th and it was a huge success, was trending worldwide once again. So many people were participating in it and it was a lot of fun. I think a lot of people needed something like that. And to me, it's truly amazing that the One Direction fandom still wants to like band together and do things like that. It just goes to show you that we're still here and strong. Like, we are not going nowhere. Seriously, they could literally be broken up for another 10 years. And their fandom would still be right here doing the damn thing. So that was a lot of fun. On June 21st, Brianna posted a picture of Louis and Freddie that's like an unseen. Well, actually, she was in it too. It was her, Louis and Freddie, like in the hospital when he was born. And she posted it as a Father's Day post and tagged Louis in it with a nice little message. Also on the 21st, this is really random and I feel like I haven't seen a ton of people talk about it, but also on the 21st, someone is active on the One Direction Instagram account. Their Instagram account originally had the History music video linked in their bio. And on the 21st, it randomly disappeared and it wasn't there anymore. It's still not there anymore. So on the 21st, someone went onto the One Direction Instagram account and deleted the History music video link. I have no idea why. Maybe they're getting ready to put a new link there. Maybe it's the Infinity music video. Don't hold me to that, but that happened on the 21st. Very random. On June 22nd, Niall went on E-Talk's open house and performed Black and White again. I feel like I've said that a million times. In the past few months, Niall has been doing a lot of performances of Black and White. Maybe he's trying to tell me that he's gonna propose soon. So. Also on June 22nd, this is so cute, Liam tweeted, "I am the real Liam Payne" on the 22nd in celebration of 10 years since he first started his Twitter account. Basically, 10 years ago, on June 22nd, 2010, Liam opened his Twitter account and his very first tweet ever was, "I am the real Liam Payne." So on June 22nd, 2020, he tweeted, "I am the real Liam Payne" to kind of celebrate the anniversary of his first tweet, and I think that was the cutest and most creative thing ever. Also on June 22nd, this is another kind of thing that's really not a big deal anymore, but it was at the time. June 22nd, Lou Teasdale, which if you don't know is One Direction's old hairstylist, she posted Instagram stories of her at the beach, and there's one clip that was on her Instagram story of her at the beach where people swore up and down that they could hear Niall and Harry in the background.
We've got some nice ones today. Yeah, I need to send Murray those.
I will admit, at the time when I first heard the clip, I was a little suspicious because I was really thrown off by the like Irish sounding voice. I didn't really think it was Harry because everyone thinks that every single British man with a deep voice is Harry. Like, you have to draw the line somewhere, you know what I'm saying? But the other voice kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like... But then after I did some more listening and thinking, I was like, no, I really don't think that the One Direction boys were on the beach with Lou Teasdale. This is really interesting. On June 25th, Ash, who is the music artist who just did Moral of the Story with Niall, just to clarify, she was doing an interview and the interviewer asked her like when she thinks that her album is going to come out. And then she made this really like sketchy comment about how pretty soon everyone in the music industry is going to want to push all their work back because like she can't say anything but like some big thing is going to happen.
Do you have a date? An ideal target date for an album?
No, okay, so keep your eyes out because something's coming very soon that I can't say anything about, but when it does, everything's going to get pushed back. So just inevitably, anything in the music industry, whatever you plan, push it back freaking however many months. So I don't know. I would love to put out the album before the end of the year.
This just set off a lot of alarms for a lot of people, including me. I'm still very alarmed by this comment and I'm very curious as to what she meant. What event in the music industry could be like so big that everyone's gonna like push their work back because they don't want to compete with it? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that she decided to say something, even though she's not allowed to say anything about it in detail, just says to me that it's something that she's personally excited about, and that also says to me that it's something that she's excited that she knows about it. I really don't know how to explain this, but to me it seems like Ash was very like giddy and excited that she had this valuable information that nobody else was allowed to know. And a lot of people think that she's talking about like a One Direction reunion or something of the sort, because she literally just did a collab with Niall. Not only did she just do a collab with Niall, but they were becoming friends. Like, they've been tweeting each other and live streaming with each other. Ash has been making comments about like how Niall's her friend now, and liking all of these like TikTok comments and stuff about how her and Niall are friends now. Like, they've become friends since creating Moral of the Story together. And then all of a sudden she has some valuable knowledge about some big thing that's happening in the music industry. I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but like, who else would Ash have talked to or have connections with that would be big enough in the industry to push everyone's work back? Like, Ash is still a fairly very new artist. Not a lot of people know of her outside of Moral of the Story. That's like her first big hit. So what other celebrity besides Niall could she have talked to get this big, valuable information? It was very sketchy, and a lot of people really think that it has something to do with One Direction for obvious reasons. June 26th, Niall does another black and white performance, but this time it's a part of RTE Comic Relief. I'm sure you're all familiar with Comic Relief by now. He also posts about a shirt that's available to buy to help the cause and in support of Comic Relief, which that selfie is amazing. I know it's not about the selfie, it's about the good deed, but still. So for this next part, I do want to put in a major trigger warning for anyone who feels like they would be triggered by sexual abuse. I'm sure you all know where this is going. I'm going to put the timestamp to skip to on the screen, so if you feel like you're going to be triggered by talk of sexual assault / an abuser, then you can skip to that number and not even have to worry about it and not even have to listen to it. You can just skip over to the next update on this video. I never ever want to be the reason that someone is feeling overwhelmed or upset or triggered in any way. But this is something that's important that happened in our fandom, and I do want to make sure that I'm not just ignoring it. So if you feel like you're going to be triggered by talk of sexual assault, please skip to this timestamp. I didn't put this in the rundown earlier because I just wanted to talk about it all on this day. But a few weeks ago in June, there was a girl who came out and told her story of being assaulted by Louis' photographer, Jordan Green. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with Jordan. He has been Louis' photographer for a while now, and has also been like a friend of his for a while now. And there was someone who accused him of sexual assault in a very well-worded and detailed way. After this person was finally brave enough to share her story, a lot of people started doing some background digging on Jordan and his past, and found multiple other like horrible things that he's done, and multiple other like allegations against him from other models who have worked with him. A lot of people even found out that he was posted on like this really popular Instagram page that warns models about photographers you shouldn't work with, and he was featured on that page. That page is like legit. It has thousands of followers and is very trustworthy and like genuinely posts warnings to keep models safe. And Jordan was featured on it, but nobody ever knew about it or like bothered to do background research on him. We just kind of were like, oh, this is Louis' photographer, and accepted him for that. Not only did people find him on that page, they also found some really disturbing tweets of his that he tweeted years prior that were just very gross and misogynistic and just absolutely disgusting and sickening to look at. So then that takes us to June 29th, when Jordan, after 2 weeks of silence, finally decided to speak up and release a statement in which he pretty much just victimized himself, didn't even bother to apologize, and just posted like from his notes app. And a lot of people were very angry by this. I mean, I was angry by this, I mean, as you should be, and basically banded together to get hashtag #FireJordanGreen trending. Everybody was trending this hashtag, even Louis' own like update accounts and like major update accounts that have direct connections to his team were tweeting about this and tweeting to get him fired. There was even a Louis update account that contacted Louis' team directly, because if you don't know, oftentimes big update accounts have direct connections and contact with like an artist's actual team, because they can like work together to spread valuable information. So this update account actually was able to reach out to his team and talk to them about these allegations and how Jordan should be fired, and Louis' team just ignored them and never responded back. So this update account really worked to get hashtag #FireJordanGreen trending, and thousands of people all over Twitter were banding together to tag Louis and his team and begging for him to fire Jordan and to get him out of work and to publicly denounce him. Hopefully, sometime soon, Louis' team or Louis himself will release some kind of statement addressing the issue and hopefully getting him off of the team and fired. Hi, I just wanted to update really quickly that as of today on June 30th, Louis has officially unfollowed Jordan on all social media accounts and also unfollowed all of his photography accounts too. So I'm assuming that Jordan already has been or will be getting fired, thankfully. And it would just be absolutely amazing if Louis could find someone else to be his photographer that needs the opportunity, like a good person who's talented and who could like genuinely use the work and benefit from this life-changing opportunity. Moving on though, also on June 29th, Harry was seen out in London grocery shopping with Ben Winston. This isn't anything too important, but it happened, so of course I'm putting in the rundown. He looked really cute, his hair is growing out, he's got his curls going on, he was wearing a mask, so don't know why he was with Ben Winston. We don't stand Ben Winston in this house. Disgusting, so that does conclude everything that happened this month, besides like little nitpicky details that maybe I didn't put in here because I don't always put every single thing, but for the most part, those are all the major things that happened this month, June, in the One Direction fandom. I'm absolutely terrified for the next time that I set up this camera to do the rundown. Terrified. Because the next time I set up this camera to do the rundown, I will fully know what happened at the One Direction anniversary. Like, the next rundown is July, and I'm gonna be sitting here talking about whatever the hell is gonna happen on the 23rd. Like, me in the future fully just knows what happened, and she's gonna sit down and film the rundown and tell you what happened, and I'm so scared. The next time I set up this camera, we will know what happened in July, so brace yourselves, everybody, because we're about to be launched into it full force. Thank you guys for watching the June rundown. Please don't forget to check out the description for a bunch of helpful resources when it comes to the global issues going on in the world. Make sure every time that you see a petition, you stop to sign it. Do all that you can every single day to spread awareness, and make sure that you're keeping yourself up to date and educated. Also check the description for my social medias. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I hope you're all staying safe and doing wonderfully, and I will see you in my next video.
When you walk through the door, changes into something red.